Welcome back, everybody. This is My Journey 4K. We are back in IMSA in the Dallara P217. Let's get into it. Strength of the field today is a 1694. We're coming into this race with a 1918 rating. Oh no, we lost control and are sitting sideways on the track right now. GT3 field's going by right now, very dangerous. We're gonna make our move and get back on track now. Busted up in front. Cadillacs really struggling with back to the front of the GT3 field and the back of the LMP2 field. So it has some cars to pass right now. It says currently we're seventh in our class. We'll see if we update flashing lights letting the GT3 cars know we're coming. Still seventh in our class, it says. And the inside really quick on fourth place. Ooh! Another hypercar off of the side of the road. What kind of crash is happening here? We did wait to safely re-enter the track. Just past second place in the GT3 class. Well, we finally made our way clear of the GT3 class. No LMP2s in sight at the moment. Currently 7th in our class. Started the race in 3rd. This is a 35-minute race. We're going to need to stop once at least for fuel. This is multi-class racing. We've seen a few of the classes already. GT3 cars early in the race. LMP2 is our class. It's the second class. And then there's the GTP hypercar class up front. This is an A license requirement for entry. This is IMSA fixed series, so we aren't going to be able to make any changes to the car, if any at all. Looks like we're going to have a pretty clear track in front and behind for a little bit here. I think we'll take this all the way till needing fuel. Pit window has not opened yet. We're still waiting for that. I don't think we'll need repairs or anything. We didn't get hit when we went sideways earlier, I think. It was all just our own fault. Losing control right in the middle of the track. think the car behind us there that we see is a hypercar, not an LMP2. We'll have to wait and see if they catch up to us. Pretty clear track in front and behind still. Running 7th in our class. Hard to tell if the car behind is getting any closer or not. I don't know if it is, but I still do think it's a hypercar, not an LMP2, not in our class. Finally, I can start to see some of our class just ahead. LMP2 car. It looks like a black one. Several seconds ahead still, but we're closing the gap now. Still 7th in our class. Just about 15 minutes into the race now. Pit window is definitely open, but I don't think we're going to make our stop. That gap, 7th in our class. Looks like we're up to 6th in our class. Somebody might have made us stop early. GT3 cars are coming out of the pits now. Car off to the side of the road. LMP2 car gaining another spot there. Getting into a starting to get to the front of the group now. The car is a similar paint scheme. Let's see. Couldn't tell who's behind me. Pulling into pit lane now to make our pit stop a little bit early. We did go from 6th to 5th on that last run. Just in front of a GT3 car here. We're gonna get out in front though. We're released. Well, that's gonna mess up our position in our class. Since we've taken our pit stop early, we'll have to be watching for the end of the pit window now. We'll have to see places. Looks like a few cars decided to pull in around the same time. Mostly GT3s though. Whoa, car spins in front of us, LMP2 car. Not really sure that LMP2 car would be for position. We most likely need to make the pit stop still. Unless that was one of the cars that stopped early, we weren't far behind when they made a mistake. It says we're 8th in our class now. Just getting in front of an LMP2 car coming out of the pits though. We're a little ways behind now. The window is not closed yet. I think we need the next lap. We'll see what place we end up in. Up to 7th in our class. Pit window should be closing soon. Our way through the GT3 field now. LMP2 car coming out of the pits. It does say we were in 7th. The car behind is really thinking they can get a run on us. Faster. We'll see. We did close the gap with our tiny mistake and running into that traffic. We're able to close the gap down just a little bit. We have an LMP2 car coming up close to them soon, I think. There it is. That one was coming out of the pits as we were passing by. I think the pit window is closed now, so we'll have to see where we stand next time by. This should be really where we are. Three cars pulling into the pits. Pulling on the inside of them. Looks like we're up to 6th in our class right now. Behind, losing control a little bit there. Opened up that gap again. Looks like we're up to 5th in our class, closing in on somebody in front of us. Possibly a hyper-powered GTP coming up behind here. It's all in the dark. It does look like there's a Porsche GTP. It's not in our class. Ooh, they spun that GTP car back there. One of the GT3s got in the corner. Spun it maybe right into the wall. Maybe a little bit before we see anybody behind us again now. Not sure what happened, but we're up to 4th in our class now. We did start the race in 3rd. We fell back to, I believe, 8th at some point. We've worked our way back up now. I don't see time is running out. Just a few minutes remain. How many laps we do will depend on where the leader is when time expires. Some side-by-side car action behind us, possibly hypercars catching and passing the LMP2s. Now catching the GT3 car just ahead. We're going to get by in the backstretch fairly easily. The car directly behind us there looks like a Porsche hypercar, the GTP class. We'll have to go one more lap. A little ways back still. We'll have to see if they can catch and pass us before the end of the lap. Otherwise, we're probably going to have to do one more. If they can pass us, this will be the last lap, I believe. I think if we can keep the hypercar behind us, and we have to go one more lap, we do get a shot at 3rd place wherever they may be. It's sort of looking like the hypercar's not going to catch us here. We're into sunset already. GT3 car just ahead. Is waving last lap here. The hypercar didn't catch us in time. That is actually okay though, and preferred. If 3rd place goes off track and we do end up passing them, then that will be us in another spot. GT3 cars nose to tail in front of us here. Should be the end of the race coming up soon. I don't see LMP2 cars in front of us. Alright, that'll do it here. We started the race in third. We finished fourth. We started with a 1918. We gained 17 points. We're up to a 1935 now. Alright, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.